we know that many black people are oppressed. And we know that many black people are angry. I'm not saying all, but there are some. And so white people walk around in this fear. Just like the cop in McKinney, Texas. He walked around in that particular moment as if he was dealing with an angry mob. These are teens at a swim party. But he treated the black people in a stereotypical fashion. They're an angry mob. I've got to control them. He slammed a young lady on the ground. He pointed his gun at another one. These are teens at a swim party. And instead of protecting the black teens who were a victim of racism from the racist adults who were using racial slurs against these teens and discriminating against them blatantly in the swimming pool, instead of protecting the teens, he protects the white folks, which is what our government has always done, which is what our institutions have always done. We cater to white. Every single American institution. 2.2 million people in the prison system, the for-profit industrial prison system right now. 2.2 million people. 14% of the population is black. And the majority of the people in our prison system is black and brown folks. Why do you think that is? Control the black and brown population. The war on drugs was the war on people of color. Let's be real and let's be honest. War on drugs is code word for war on people of color, because that is exactly what it is. And some people say that it's the new Jim Crow. And it is. If you go to aclu.org, look at their reports. There's so much data showing the horrible racial disparities and discrepancies racially in our prison industrial system, in our Justice Department. That's just one institution, y'all. There's so many reports on our financial, how it discriminates and caters to white, on healthcare. There's so many studies and reports backing up all these things that people of color have been saying for 400 fucking years. So white America, wake up. Wake the fuck up. Let's stop living the lie of white supremacy. Let's stop living in denial. Let's try to find some empathy. Let's try to find some love for our fellow man. Let's raise our consciousness. You know, we're living out of ignorance when we buy into and we defend things, you know. So let's start listening to people of color when they tell you about their reality racially. You know, let's think outside of the white box. Not everything has to be about white, right? It's not always about white. Sometimes it's about humanity. Sometimes it's about finding truth. Sometimes it's about finding reality. Sometimes it's about raising your consciousness. And sometimes it's about having morality and responsibility racially. Have we as a nation, as a white community, as a white culture, have we ever taken responsibility? No. Racially? No. Collectively, I'm speaking. I'm not speaking individually. And I'm not saying you are guilty. I'm not asking you to apologize. I'm not saying to feel guilty, because white people often use guilt as a defense mechanism. A defense mechanism to remain in denial, a defense mechanism to not want to have to deal with the reality of what we're doing. So being defensive is not helping you. Being defensive is destroying our country. So if you see racism, acknowledge it. So get uncomfortable, look in the mirror, and think about what we have done as a nation. Think about what we have done as a people collectively. I'm not saying all white people are racist. I'm not stereotyping my own fucking race. I'm white. There are anti-racist whites. Not many of us, but there are some. And not everybody is taught racism that's white. I know that. But we're all indoctrinated in varying degrees. Even people of color are indoctrinated and conditioned in this white supremacist society and culture that we live in. So let's just think about the effects of that. And let's think about psychologically and socially what it's done to us as white people. Let's come to terms psychologically with what's really happening. Let's find the reality.